As the coronavirus pandemic continues to spread around the world, it's crucial we understand what we can and can't do in our everyday lives to help slow that spread.
Dr Bill Griggs was South Australia's Controller of Health Disasters and Emergencies for 10 years and has now compiled a comprehensive checklist for how to avoid bringing the virus home after venturing out. He joins us now from Adelaide. Good morning to you.
Morning, Carl.
You are a very experienced man in your field. You've led disaster response efforts in Iraq, Bali, Aceh. Have you ever experienced anything like this before?
I don't think anyone's experienced anything like this. You have to go back to the sort of 1918 Spanish flu, and there aren't too many people around who are around then.
Yeah. So you've pulled together a really detailed list of do's and don'ts. Can you just explain how this list came about?
Well, I trained over the years, both in civilian and military setting, in how to deal with chemical environments and biological environments where there are bad things around in warm zones and hot zones. I had some friends who asked me what they should or shouldn't be doing, and I came up with a list and put it on social media, and it sort of took off from there. It's just straightforward common sense. There are some people who will look at the list and think that's really good and might sort of print it and laminate it and follow it religiously. And other people who just read through it and go, well, there's some thoughts in there that I hadn't thought of before, and that's helpful in making decisions.
OK, let's get to it then. As people get their pens and papers out, do they still do that at home?
Yep.
You've broken it down into three key sections, starting with leaving home. What do we need to do here?
Well, when we leave home, we're planning ahead for when we come home, so we don't want to bring the virus back into the house. So the concern is whether we pick it up from someone else, but in particular we're worried about is there a virus on a surface that we're going to come in contact with. So we want to try and minimise the chance of getting it on our hands, and if we get it on our hands, which is okay because we can wash our hands, we don't want to put it on our face. So first of all, you take off all your watches and jewellery, you make sure that your arms are clear so you can wash your hands and arms properly. That's what we do in a hospital when we wash ourselves. Everything comes off. If you've got a ring you can't get off, well, that's okay. You leave your wallet and your handbag at home. You don't really need to take everything. Put your phone in a Ziploc bag, put an ID and a credit card in a Ziploc bag. If you've got some personal hygiene stuff, some medicine, put that in a brown paper bag. And what I do is I have a little plastic box in my car, and I put everything in the plastic box. So everything in the car stays in the one thing, whether I get it when I'm out or when I'm there. Wearing closed shoes, I keep a pair of shoes at the door. If they don't come inside, they just stay there. And if I'm going to go to work, I'll take my own food and drink with me as far as possible.
I remember just looking at this list yesterday and thinking, it already takes me a long time to get out of the house. This is going to add an extra half hour to it. But there's some really key points that I thought. One of them is that when you are out, that just don't use your phone. Don't touch your phone. And as you said, we just saw there on that list, don't take your wallet and your handbag, but put your credit card and your licence just in a Ziploc bag.
And that's the whole idea is you don't want to contaminate anything. If you have to take your credit card out to do a paywave thing, do that. If you have to do a PIN with a keypad, I use my little finger because I'm unlikely to touch my face with my little finger. Just little things like that. When you're out and about, then you really want to try and minimise the risk of getting the virus on you. You have to assume that all items are going to be contaminated. Anywhere people would put their hands, both doorknobs, lift buttons, handrails, elevator rails, all those sorts of things. If you go to a shop and you want to buy something, choose with your eyes. Don't pick 4 things up and put them back down again.
OK, we're just having just a couple of dramas being able to hear you, but can we go back to that list? It's so interesting to look at. That's the first page of that list. Don't touch your face. Assume all items are contaminated. Push doors with your feet. When you can. Avoid eating in communal spaces. And let's flip over to the next page again. Don't hit your face with your upper arm. Wash and sanitise your hands often. And don't use cash. Can we persist with this and go to what happens when you arrive home? Talk us through that.
So when you arrive home, I choose to enter through a door that takes me into the laundry because there's a sink there. I used my plastic box that I had in the car to bring anything inside, so it's all in the box. I'll wash my hands when I get there, no hugs or greetings until I've done all of that. And then I'll wash all the things that are in the box to make sure that they're clean. I'll discard the paper bags. I'll either wash or discard the Ziploc bags, make sure everything's safe. And then I'll go out and I'll actually wash down or clean the parts of the car, the steering wheel, the gear stick and the door handle, those things that I may have touched. Come back inside, finally wash my hands, and then I can
My goodness, it's quite an
I'm not doing
extraordinary
a lot of
list,
that.
isn't it? No, but there's a couple of really good tips in there. But just that idea of sort of decontaminating at the door before you walk into the house. Doctor, thank you so much for that list. We're going to put that up on our website for people to have another look at because there's a lot there to take in.
Food for thought.
Yeah, I mean, you're a man who knows what you're talking about. Thanks for joining us.
It's a great list, isn't it? I think that really practical information is what people crave. You just want to know what you can do in your own space to look after your own family.